I bet you've heard about the laser hype. Now, let's get brutally honest about what it's really like. I want you, ChatGPT, to ask questions based on what the public is looking for out there. Some of it might be very emotional things and vulnerable areas that they're not able to talk about. I want to use my experience as a family physician and as somebody who has had laser treatment to answer these questions. So today I'm going to give the floor to ChatGPT in a few seconds. I'm not going to hazard what your questions will be. ChatGPT, you have got the task to ask the questions burning on the minds of people out there. You have the floor.
Absolutely. I'm right here with you. That sounds like a fantastic approach, really authentic and engaging. All right, I'll jump in with questions a lot of people wonder about. Things like what to expect during the procedure, how long it really takes to see results, how to handle any setbacks, and even emotional concerns about hyperpigmentation. If you're ready, let's dive right in and help folks get the clarity they need.
I'm ready when you are.
Awesome. Let's kick off with a common one. Many people are curious about the immediate aftermath. Did you experience any discomfort or downtime after your first laser session? And what did your recovery look like?
So, yes, I did. My laser sessions would last anywhere between 10 minutes to 12 minutes. And I had the Pico laser. Some people call it the Star Walker Fontana. So what I noticed was there was laser would make me feel highly sensitive, my skin, and it could be almost painful. I would rate it an 8 out of 10 in terms of the amount of discomfort I felt. However, it was restricted to discomfort and pain. There were no signs on my face that would tell anyone that looked at me as I walked out of the treatment room that I was in any discomfort whatsoever. So I did not experience worsening hyperpigmentation. I didn't experience any rash. I didn't experience any breakout on my skin. I didn't experience any cuts or bruising on my skin all through. I will typically walk into the room, have my laser session, 10 to 12 minutes, and I'm ready to get into a board meeting if you like. There was really nothing to do to your skin apart from moisturize afterwards and allow the pain subside. Typically 5 to 10 minutes after laser is done, the pain would have completely regressed.
That's really helpful to know. So it sounds like the discomfort is pretty short lived and you can get right back to normal activities. That's probably reassuring for a lot of people. Next, let's tackle the big question. How many sessions did it take before you started noticing a visible difference in your hyperpigmentation? And what was that progression like for you?
That's a very good question. And interestingly, after the first session of laser, I could see a difference, a visible difference in how intense the pigment appeared. It was still there, but they didn't appear as intense as they were before I had my very first session. And I had 6 sessions in total. I noticed that, was it 6 or 5? I think it was 6. I noticed that after each session, the difference was incremental. So I will make additional improvement compared to the last session. It was gradual. It's not something that, someone not looking at you closely will notice, but it's something that somebody in your space, like your family, would say, "Oh, you look nice." So those are the kind of comments I would start to get typically. "Oh, you're looking very, very healthy, very bright, very fresh." Those kind of things. So yes, it did make a difference straight away.
That's fantastic to hear. It sounds like the improvements were steady and noticeable to those close to you, even if subtle at first. That's good encouragement for anyone considering the treatment. All right, let's pivot to another concern people often have. Were there any specific active or steps or changes to your skincare routine that you found crucial to maintaining or enhancing your results?
Oh, that's a brilliant question to ask. So my consultant who did my testing for me and started the process for me mentioned something, and I did ask these questions because I've been very big on creams prior to finding and engaging with laser. So one thing I was told and I started to do was I started to avoid any active ingredients like the retinol, vitamin C, um, high power active ingredients at least 2 days before my laser session. And this is something I did myself. So 2 days before my laser session, I would stay away from anything in that range. And I was advised particularly that if I was using hydroquinone, which I was not, to stay away from it completely throughout the laser period, especially because this is summer in Canada. So hydroquinone will not be the nicest thing to have on your skin in summertime. And with laser, you should definitely avoid. I wasn't doing hydroquinone anyway at this time. So after my laser, before my laser, I would wash my face. I would cream my face at home and put my sunscreen on. Even if I know that when I got into the treatment room, the my specialist or my therapist would typically use some cleanser to cleanse off any makeup I had on. So if you're someone that likes your eyelash like myself, you will do yourself some good to forget your eyelashes at home at that time because you're gonna get some eye goggles anyways, and it could just mess up your makeup if you did try. You would not even have makeup on, but if you just left lashes on, it might still be a bit of a bother. And after the laser, I would have my therapist would put apply some skincare again, just simple moisturizer. And I used to make sure that I will come there with my own SPF 50 and I would put my SPF 50 afterwards before I got into my car to drive home. So that summarizes how I did my pre and post laser sessions.
That's super informative. It makes sense that simplifying actives beforehand and focusing on sun protection afterward would be key steps. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sure it'll help viewers feel more prepared for their own laser journeys. Let me know if you want me to dive into any other topics that might be in people's minds.
So do you have any other questions to ask regards laser and hyperpigmentation? ChatGPT?
Absolutely. Here's another one that often pops up. People sometimes worry about the risk of hyperpigmentation returning. From your experience so far, do you have any insights on how to maintain the results long term, and if there are any particular lifestyle or skincare habits that help prevent recurrence?
So hyperpigmentation is when you hyperpigment a lot, like myself, I do hyperpigment a lot. And my hyperpigmentation is not in patches, it's the whole skin. So you might not even notice that I'm hyperpigmented, but I know because I know what my other skin tone on like my neck looks like, and it's several tones darker on my face. One thing that does help hyperpigmentation not to return is your SPF routine and your how you care for your skin. So my therapist told me that after laser you would after the laser sessions end, you will continue to get effects from your laser therapy up to 3 months after your last session. And a lot of hydration will help because what laser does is to shatter the hyperpigments. So your body will start to mop it up slowly. You keep seeing results from your laser treatment. I haven't seen any worsening hyperpigmentation since my last treatment, which is now around um 10 days ago. I will not be having any more in this round, so I've completed that. So going forward, what I will do, because I have a lot of experience with regards looking after my skin, um, and dealing with my hyperpigmentation. So now going forward, I'm going to go back to my actives and start to do my skincare routine as it was before laser. And anything else I want to add on, I'll make sure that my SPF is on point. And I do have some hydroquinone um regimen, which I have now told myself I will keep until winter comes around so that I can avoid the heat and avoid aggravating my skin any more than necessary.
That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like staying diligent with sun protection and reintroducing your active ingredients at the right time is key to maintaining those gains. That's a really thoughtful strategy, and I'm sure your audience will appreciate your insights. If there's anything else you'd like me to touch on, or if you want to wrap it up with a final thought, just let me know.
My final thought: there are a few things I have learned with my journey to laser, and I will share them because they can be applied to anything. One is whatever you are aware of as a concern that you want to work on, you do yourself more good doing one thing at a time and just taking little steps about that concern than when you just ignore it. Two, when you have found a solution that you want to adopt and that solution does not seem to be bringing the results you want to see, you will need to decide whether you want to, it will be it's time for you to change or add something else. Three, always use time as a tool. So before it becomes such a matter that pressurizes you to just take any step available, use time as a tool to research what you could do and options that you have, and ask yourself the questions that really align with yourself. Four, whatever doesn't work directly on a problem works on your mindset. Whatever is not working directly, giving you results that you think you want to see, also works on your mindset. So it's working on you and probably not, is working on you and not probably for you. So do not discard anything without reflecting on how it has changed you, it has influenced your options, what you have had to let go to adopt that solution. Five, whatever makes you cringe, whatever makes you cringe is calling you and inviting you for a challenge. Don't ignore it. Take the step. I did. I do not have any regrets today.
Those are fantastic reflections. Each one speaks to being intentional, so aware, and open to grow, not just in skincare, but in life. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and these lessons. I'm sure they'll resonate deeply with anyone watching. This is really inspiring, and I'm honored to have been part of it.
It was lovely to have you on as well. Okay, have a fine day. Thank you, everyone. Put your questions down below. My name is Dr. Clara Obano. It was nice to have you with me today. Bye bye, everyone.
That was wonderful. Dr. Banner, thanks for letting me join you in this. You shared some really empowering advice. Have a fantastic shoot, and I'm sure your viewers will love it. Take care.